Are there any certain personalities that you kind of thought stood out to you as somebody who really knew what they were talking about?
Every single person that you've had on this vlog they've been so impressive. And like the fact that my name is associated with all these people, all 50, 60 people that, like, I'm serious. It's like, so everybody have surprised me. And I didn't really know most people before this, but, you know, after editing these vlogs and you know, researching them and looking them up and hearing their story, every single one of them are so impressive. Even like these young guys that you're interviewing that, like, let's say started their agency recently, like, they're smart and they know what they're talking about. And I'm thinking about this now, like, not only are they smart, like, take away like the Lily Ray and like the other big guys that, like, I'm forgetting their names because there's so many, but like I'm talking now about, let's say, like the smaller agency people. Why are they so smart? Not because they know what they're talking about, but because they're coming to talk to you. And they know that it doesn't matter how far you are away, like, to get a chance to talk to Barry Schwartz, to be on his vlog, they're investing in themselves. And that to me shows they know what they're talking about. So to me, to be honest, every single person that you've interviewed has been really, I mean, the only thing that I could say that that I wasn't super excited was one of the episodes where there was like a major accent, that the guy had a major accent and we couldn't really understand what he was talking about. So that to me was like the only time I was kind of like, I mean, he was still very impressive. I forgot exactly what he did, but he was, I mean, obviously SEO related. But
so, you know, one of my favorite, probably my favorite blogger ever.
Yeah.
I had here on my vlog.
Which one?
And I went up.
The guy from Google?
No.
Oh.
That's Danny Sullivan, who's my mentor, I guess, if you want to call it that.
No, but you went with someone in a pod. Remember? You did it in a pod.
So that
right?
was Martin Split. He's not a blogger.
Yeah.
He's a developer.
Okay.
That was fun also. That was in Google New York City.
Yes.
Danny Sullivan was in Googleplex in California. But my favorite blogger in terms of writing style, she had a stutter. Do you remember who that was?
Yes, I do remember. By the way, that was one of my top episodes. I was thinking about that, but I don't want to say because they're all so good. But of course I remember that. I remember, what was the first letter of her name?
Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa
yeah,
Perone.
yeah,
So she's one of my favorite vloggers. I'm not sure if the stuttering is she's a genius. I mean, it's just, I don't know if that stuttering made it harder for you to edit, or no, not really. It just flew, right?
It flew, because I think the stutter got better, if I'm not mistaken, as like time, like, over her life.
I don't know how, but she's amazing.
She is, yeah. No, that wasn't so hard for me because it was so interesting. Her story was so interesting that, you know, but really the ums for me. I mean, I've edited many thousands of interviews.
Hearing people say
I don't hate it. I do it all the time, and now, like, I notice myself. I say like a lot, and I say a lot, and like I'm trying to stop myself. But yeah, the ums are, especially Israelis, so it's kind of hard. But the difference is like, I know you like to try to do this in one take, like you were saying before. So, you know, when I'm doing interviews, let's say a promotional video for a company, if someone says you know, I could stop and do it again.
Right.
You know, so it's a little bit different than doing sort of like some of these other, you know, vlog content where it's more like, you know, we're not gonna do it again. But but at this point, I know I can even look at waveforms and I can know when people say So I
guess that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Funny.
A lot of work.
Yeah. So I guess if I had to, like, you know, obviously I loved interviewing Danny Sullivan. He's a great personality.
Yeah.
Matt Cutts in DC.
Matt Cutts, yep.
Somebody I always wanted to interview. He finally let me interview him. John Mueller and all the Googlers. That was also at the Googleplex in Mountain View, California.
They're all good people, honestly. That's I mean, from what I've seen, they really are like good quality people, and
they are. They're all great quality
they really
people.
are.
And the location has been amazing, from like Boston to New York City to California to Israel. Where else have I been? I used to go to Sweden and all these places. I haven't been there in ages.
So I just finishing editing the last episode that I think you just posted, but you know, you discussed the SMX Israel. That's sad a little bit. I'm guessing nothing's changed with that, just because, I mean, COVID is getting a little bit better, but it's still so no one knows what's gonna happen. So.
And my favorite part about doing the vlogs, especially with new personalities that I haven't met before, is seeing being surprised by people.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time was Aja Frost. It's spelled A-J-Y-A, but Aja, pronounced it Aja, from HubSpot. And she was just like, I'm like, wow, you just started SEO maybe like a year or two ago, and you just know this stuff cold. And there's a bunch of people like that. She's the one who like really like surprised me in terms of like, really, wow, this person knows her stuff. And it's great to see smart people come in. Yeah.
You remember that? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Wow.
Well, she's a great speaker also, and Brett I just interviewed in the PP side world, so that's pretty cool.
Was
I
last
don't
name
know.
was with a B, right?
Yeah, but Bosky.
Badowski or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah,
but
sorry. We
a
can
lot
put
of
it.
great
We can put it. I'll
personalities.
put it on the bottom right there. Just the name,
Yeah.
so the right spelling.
Cool. All right. So you don't have a website, right?
It's under construction.
Under construction.
Under construction.
So how do you get your business? Not
Newberry.
SEO.
Not SEO.
No.
I get my business all through word of mouth. Very fortunate and lucky to have created some great relationships over the years. You, Hillel, some of my other clients in New York, and really just word of mouth. And I think it's how you treat people, how you treat your clients is it goes for everybody, and they come back and they refer you, and that's sort of it's been how I've gotten my business, which has been really amazing.
So I just did an interview yesterday. I'm not sure when it's going to be published, by somebody on, I think it was on Skype, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do these on Skype. I like doing it
In person,
whatever.
yeah, no, I hear it's better.
But they asked me about how do I get my business, since I'm really good at SEO, or I'm well known for SEO purposes. And I'm like, honestly, for this rusty brick business, is building software and apps, not doing SEO, the best business I get is word of mouth. I don't want to like put up ads for like web development and compete with people who charge $15 an hour, because we charge a lot more. We're based in New York.
Rather than come to you.
So I'd rather them come to me, and that's usually the best type of business and the most qualified type of business.
Yeah.
But when it came to like I have a SaaS product, this and that, you have to like rank. You have to like people search for what your solutions are. You have to rank for that type of stuff. So there are pros and cons to every digital marketing type of thing, but I do think word of mouth for your business as well as my core business is very, very important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely not the best in my field of what I do, but it just goes to show really the relationships that you forge and build with your clients is one of the most important things you can do, almost as important as your work, if not as important, because I really believe that. And investing in yourself is something that I learned pretty early on after not getting any responses for a year and a half for any jobs that I was applying for, and realizing like, wait a second, I'm not good at this, and I need to just start from the bottom and gain experience. And that sort of realization, made me, what's the word I'm looking for? I was too cocky for no reason. And I thought, moving back from, at that point I was graduating college from Israel and I was moving back to New York. I was like, yeah, I can work in video. I make video content, sending my resume and reading it now, many years later, reading some of these cover letters and these emails that I sent these people, like, here, check out this video that I made for my final thesis for school. Right. And it's like this short video that's not really so good, thinking that I'm gonna get this associate producer position. I realized I gotta start and work for free and gain experience. And that's really how I built, how I work now. And I'm fortunate and lucky and to be able to travel to New York and have business in Israel and really just do what I love. And I think that's also one of the main things, is doing what you love is very, very important. And I know you do what you love. And
yeah. I mean, have you made a reel for yourself?
I've made a reel for myself, okay. Yeah. Every year I try to update it. So I've made a reel for myself. So, when someone reaches out and says, hey, I've heard your name in video content, can you send me some of your stuff? I usually send them that. But I do agree that it's time to sort of push the construction further on this website. But I'm really, really picky. So I know kind of what I want, but it'll get there. But luckily I've been very, very busy, so I haven't really, I wouldn't say needed it, because I think everyone needs it, but I haven't really felt a need to do it, even though I know I do need to do it.
Right.
So
you probably should do it while you're busy, not when you're not busy.
That's true. Because then when I'm not busy and I'm doing that, then I'm not gonna have any other work, and I'm like, so yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, no, it's cool. If you want to include the reel below and stuff like
thanks,
that,
I
definitely do that.
There's a sound ringing in my head. Golden faces dancing in the sand. She's got the movement, she's got the way. Under her treetops is where I'll lay. So far from the ones I know, so close to the one I love. This is the place I wanna go, because you are my home. Oh, because you are my home.
Yeah.
How can people learn more about you and find you and hire you?
They can learn more about me. I am on Instagram at JoeGold91. I am on Facebook, not so often, Jojo Goldsmith or Joseph Goldsmith. I'm on LinkedIn. You can ask Barry for my email, or honestly, I could just give it now, jsgoldsmith1@gmail.com. I'll put it down there. And really, even if it's not, that you need video content, you just asking advice or anything, really happy to help as much as I can. I know that when I was starting out, any help that I got, really, it went such a long way. And I, thank all the people when I first started till this day. I hire a lot of these people that taught me. I hire them now to help me do stuff, to film for me. And it's, happy to help wherever I can. And Barry, thanks for everything you do.
No, thank you.
No, I mean, I'm fortunate to have you as a client and a
Unfortunate
friend.
as well.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
That.
Yeah, and of course, like a lot of SEOs are constantly doing video content because it's part of SEO. It's about building the best type of website, building the best type of product for their customers, and video is a huge part of the internet. So if you want somebody really good,
Thanks, Barry.
Definitely
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.